This is Boston Jimmie here, and I'm with Lars Tetens and
Ralph Montero.
So I don't know how many people here know Lars, but this guy is like the Renaissance man of cigar world, believe it or not. And more than that, you're an artist, talented guitarist, and we'll show you some of that video later because we got a good clip of it. He makes spices, and you've got sauces.
Sea sauce. I make barbecue sauces and hot sauces, and even hot sauces with CBDs in it.
CBDs,
Yep.
which is a big thing these days.
Very
a lot of
big
controversy.
thing. Very big thing.
Right.
It's very healthy for you, though. And the cigars, look, I've been making cigars since I was 15, but it really has changed. We brought it up to a whole new level, and having Ralph involved in this has just been a whole game changer. He really brought the whole thing into a really organized science, if I can say that. But it really is something that's completely different. People do not understand what this is all about and what I'm doing. And I think that, like, when people first were thinking about, flavored cigars, and they're thinking like, oh, this is kind of like bullshit stuff. And Ralph is one of those people.
Yeah,
so
I was one of the ones that thought this was.
He is one of those people.
Process. I'm very traditionalist in the cigar business.
Right.
We went down to Nicaragua and we started this process from 0 to 100, and it's just amazing how when you finish the process and you go through all these steps, but what you end up with is a premium cigar, still a cigar, but with something special, something different. It's not a flavored cigar.
Right.
You're still smoking a premium cigar, and that's what astounded me and kind of put me over to his side to understand that this isn't just a flavored cigar. You're still smoking a premium cigar.
So when did you start this process?
when I was 15.
15 years old, and I remember Lars Tetens back in 1980s.
Yep, that was in the 80s.
And it was
1979 was the first
it
year.
was all the talk out there. I was sophomore. No, I was a sophomore in college, and it was one of the cigars that I would have smoked.
Yep.
Right,
And you know what's the funniest story is? There's a guy who was he worked he was like a partner in a cigar store, but he was a lawyer at the time. He was going to he's actually a retired lawyer now, but when I was 15 he was going to Columbia University, and he would come down and buy my cigars, and he remembered seeing me rolling the cigars, and nobody knew my name at the place. When he would ask for my cigars, they just had a little sign with cardboard and a magic marker, "White Boy Cigars." And everybody just called me, "Hey, white boy, come here and do this. White boy, do this." Nobody knew my name. And it was really funny because he just remembered me when he first was buying my cigars as the White Boy Cigars.
Now, where were you making those cigars?
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan.
In New
So
York
you were
City.
rolling those in Manhattan.
Yep.
You were doing this whole process in Manhattan. And then we hit a boom, and then things disappeared, and Lars Tetens didn't
Well, it was a restructuring. So my partner that I had for years, we ended up not working together anymore, and she was really kind of the brains of the operation, and I've never been like the guy running the company. I created products, I created things, I like to make things and create things, but there has to be somebody else who organizes and runs the business. So this is like the most perfect marriage, having Ralph and Alan doing this, and Ralph being at my side, working with me on the whole process and organizing it and structuring it and making it into a scientific base.
Make it more consistent, so the first cigar and the 1 millionth cigar will be
all the same.
Still the same experience for the consumer.
Right. And we never really had that like that. I mean, Ralph really has, I can't even say it enough. He's just been an integral part of the whole thing. I love you, baby. Seriously, I love you.
Now, how long have you been playing guitar?
I started in my my kind of late 20s. I was a late bloomer for guitar, but I started playing drums and bass and keyboards when I was a young kid.
Okay.
And I started, making music when I was a young kid, doing rap music. I was in CBS Records.
I saw that.
The white rap boy.
Yeah,
I saw that. So you were like a Renaissance ahead of the curve. So
yeah. When I started rap, they didn't even have a word for a rap. So really, I was doing a little DJing, and all the DJs had hype men.
Yeah.
And it cost $20 a night to have a hype man. So I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to spend $20. So I was like, I'm not going to spend $20 on a hype man, I'll just do it myself. I'll hype my own self up. And that became rap. I don't know.
The closest thing to rap back in those days in my book was Jay Giles.
Yeah.
I considered him more. I mean, it's not.
That's
rap.
funny, but that's kind of true.
It's kind of he rapped. He rapped stuff out, So you were ahead of the curve with that. You're ahead of the curve here because let's be real. These cigars.
No one had ever done it before.
Right? So you kind of moved on. Things moved along, and I'll throw the bad word out. Drew Estate jumps on board, right? Jonathan,
Who's that?
right? Right? And you got the largest selling brand in the world, right? And all these acids, but yeah, you were ahead of that curve.
Yeah.
Right? You were before Jonathan.
Nobody ever did it before.
Right. Exactly.
And still, you can't even compare that to what we do. We do something that's so different, it's crazy.
Okay.
And also, the stuff we do, it's the most expensive ingredients. He can tell you.
Yeah.
Believe me, he sees every number that comes through there. He knows. It's expensive.
But it's
and
all
nobody,
natural.
that's right, all organic and natural, and nobody will spend that kind of money on getting that kind of quality. And that was part of my whole thing, is that if we were going to do this, it's got to be done with the highest standards, highest quality. And having Ralph by my side here was just like, it was amazing, a pleasure. And the boxes, which is like a design I had for some books a long time ago.
I was going to get to that. Yeah,
with
talk to me about
graffiti.
this.
But that was his idea to do the boxes like that, which was awesome. And he really was a real partner in the whole concept of actually putting the boxes together, packaging it all, putting the artwork together, and really encouraging me to go back to my roots and go back to my own real self.
So you were doing graffiti-like boxes back then too?
Well, no, I never did that. I started it because Ralph.
Okay.
Yeah, he had it in some of his other products that he made,
Pocket.
and I made a suggestion because it was very different, and I just basically said, "What about that and on a box?" And
Right.
he loved it.
Yep.
Okay.
I was just talking about the pocketbooks. He said we should do that on the boxes, and I was like, I didn't even ever think about that.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh,
It's
that's
very
a great
unique.
idea.
I think the whole presentation is very unique. Very unique.
So
And he really went out to capture me and put it into the product, and he did an amazing
you
job.
drew out of him.
Well,
that's what he had.
Lars had kind of morphed into something a little differently in the packaging, and one of the conversations that we had is that we want to really go back to the origins, and we're trying to do that in the cigar, but also in all the other aspects of the product, and kind of everybody changes, right? And he went through some changes and all that, but when Lars was Lars, that's what we want to capture, and I think we did that.
Yes, absolutely. And putting original artwork on all the boxes, and really, putting me into this,
Right.
which I
That's
kind
it.
of had never done before to this extent. If it wasn't for Ralph, it never would have happened like this.
So we have this
For sure.
beautiful box. You have this beautiful artwork,
Thank
your
you.
original artwork, right? As an artist, how do you feel about the FDA wanting to cover this box with a bunch of labels?
I'll claim the fifth on that.
Just say he's not happy about it.
Yeah, not happy
This
about it.
is
This
something.
is what consumers love.
Absolutely.
This is why they buy
This
boxes.
is the art.
I hang these things on my wall in my house in my
And
lawn.
it's something that they can smoke the cigars and then have an art piece afterwards.
Right, exactly. So this is artwork, I think the world needs to know
listen,
that
there's a lot of-
boxes of
there's a-
cigars are artwork, cigarette packs are not.
Right, and this is a family business. You know, there's a lot of families, and we help support families, not just in the United States, which we do a lot of families here in the United States, but overseas also. If we don't go ahead and do that kind of stuff, and we're not producing the products to really help those people who really need the jobs and need work, what, the FDA is going to give them a job? Come on, man. You know, somebody's got to keep people working, and the more laws and bureaucracy that we put on this business and this industry, which is a natural industry and natural product, the more that we're going to take away money from people that are just trying to feed their families. And we want to be able to help contribute to the planet, to the world, and to people's lives that really need to make money and need to support their families. And it's just not right to go ahead and do that to small mom and pop companies and family businesses.
I agree.
So we talked a little bit about the spices, but there's more to spice. You are also, I understand, a very talented chef.
Yep, I do.
How did that come to be?
Well, I've owned restaurants in the past before, and I've been. My mom kind of trained me as a chef since I was a little kid, and I've been, cooking and opening up restaurants since I was pretty young. And I trained all my chefs, and I've been a consultant in the restaurant industry, creating menus, doing interior design work for restaurants, creating recipes, doing all sorts of things.
So did that transform? So if that was very young, would you say that that transformed into how you decided to make your blends and your cigars?
Yeah, I definitely think that was definitely a part of it. I think that, whenever I approach anything, I kind of approach that with that kind of vision where I'm approaching it in a holistic vision, where I'm seeing something as a whole picture, not just little pieces or things that I feel like I'm trying to be creative. I kind of see what can I do that's practical, something that is healthy for you, because look, I'm not saying that just spices, cigars, whatever, anything that can make you feel good and relax or have a healthy life is healthy. So I want to look at those kind of things in a medicinal level and also practical. What's utilitarian that you can actually use and make it part of your life. So the spices, you can make this part of your life every single day. Anything you're eating, you can put it on there and make it taste great. With the cigars, it's great because you can smoke a cigar, enjoy, you have that pleasure, that moment, that relaxation, and relaxation helps everybody. Yes. Because that's one of the most important things that we're all looking for, is to have that moment of clarity and relaxation in life. And I think cigars really do help that a lot. And then food, of course, everybody wants to be able to have good food. Seasonings, spices, hot sauces, all those kinds of barbecue sauces, that really just helps to add that little bit of pleasure to your life. When people have such hard lives out there, having that little bit of pleasure and that little bit of happiness, it really adds that thing to someone's life that makes it worth living.
A great cigar after a great meal.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what you have to do.
Absolutely.
So you have, so we're going to continue, we're going to follow with the Renaissance piece, right? So we've talked about art, we've talked about food, we've talked about cigars, we talked about relaxation, we discussed very briefly a little bit about medical science with CBD.
Sure.
Let's talk about this, the cowboy.
Well, I grew up riding horses and working on a farm and ranching and that kind of stuff. So, I've always been around that my whole life. So. This is not like a showpiece. I don't wear this for like that. In fact, Ralph can tell you, I utilize this in everything I do. Everything. That's why it's not like a perfect hat. It's dirty and messed up. I'm not trying to wear this hat it's a work hat. This is what I use to work. And even when I'm creating the cigars and my spices, it helps to bring the spice and the blend right down to my nose. It holds everything down here. And then when it's raining or snowing, it's great. We're coming off of here and here, not getting your face. And for the sun, you put it down like this. I don't have to wear sunglasses when I'm driving. It's great. I just utilize it. It's a great hat. Sometimes I wear baseball caps, but
It's not for show. It's practical.
Yeah,
So
you've seen me.
I know.
It
it's
really
always,
is a practical
I don't think I've ever
thing.
seen you without it.
Right. I love cowboy hats just
So
because it's
you
practical.
got a cowboy, you have a cigar maker, you have a chef, you have a fashion designer with the purses. True Renaissance man right here. Last question, we'll close it out on this. We're gonna go back to CBD for a second, right? So I don't know if you're familiar with Risty, okay, with Jocelyn Crowell Cigars. All right, but Risty, he came out this year with a cigar that is CBD infused. It has 20 milligrams of CBD oil, 100% CBD, no THC at all. Right? He's banned from showing it here.
Right.
There are shops that are all upset about it. Have you ever considered, being a Renaissance man that you are, making a CBD cigar?
Well, okay.
For the pleasure
Right.
of the and I've had that
Right.
cigar for the pleasure of the relaxation with that little extra chilling down moment.
So I'm working on a cigar made out of actually just hemp leaf, so that it wouldn't be tobacco, because I think that there's a problem right now with mixing tobacco and CBDs.
There is.
But I think if you use just hemp leaf, you can create a really good hemp cigar that will have all those CBD benefits and a good smoking pleasure. And with the things that me and Ralph do now with our formulas, we can make something that's going to be, it'll totally change the market.
That would be very interesting.
It would be.
And do you have a science degree?
No, I don't.
No, but he's like a scientist, let me tell you. He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Lars, Ralph, thank you for being on
Very
Stogie
good to meet
Press.
you.
It was amazing. I like I said, I've smoked your product years and years ago, and when I saw what you were doing with Alec Bradley, I was like, wow, this is going to set things on fire.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck.
It's a great team. It's a great family.
Thank you very much.
It's terrific. And have a great show. So,
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
again.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
And I'll see you guys all later. Smoke in peace.
there you go.
They're born.